on your side. This is WNCT 9 News at 6.
Good evening. I'm Storm Team 9 meteorologist David Sawyer in this evening for Chief Meteorologist Jerry Jackson. He'll be back for the late evening newscast. And for this early evening hour, we're looking at a beautiful evening in progress. Lots of traffic on Greenville Boulevard as a beautiful Carolina blue sky takes us into this Monday night. 68 right now in Greenville, 66 for Kinston. Still a little cooler, as it should be along the coast, with the sea breeze coming in off the chillier Atlantic Ocean waters in the mid to upper 50s for our coastal towns right now. All of us into the 50s for the evening hours and a tranquil overnight, but we're tracking thunderstorms potentially for later Tuesday into Tuesday night. A weather alert day in effect for late Tuesday and also again into Thursday. Details coming up on that as the longest running newscast in the East starts now.
It's going to be electric.
For the third time in the last 6 years, the North Carolina Tar Heels will play in the national championship game. How local fans are feeling ahead of tonight's matchup with Kansas.
A change in salary for administrators in North Carolina is being discussed at the State Board of Education this week. I'm Claire Curry with more about the draft proposal and what it could mean for teachers.
And Congress has failed to pass a bill covering some COVID care costs. Why it's creating huge concerns for both the public and healthcare providers.
We begin tonight with the NCAA Men's Basketball National Championship. Hello, everyone. I'm Ken Watlington.
And I'm Angie Casada. Thanks for joining us. UNC fans are pumped ahead of the championship game tonight between the Tar Heels and Kansas Jayhawks.
On your sides, Adriana Hargrove is live in Greenville now and spoke with local fans and bar owners about what they're expecting during this game. And Adriana, what is the atmosphere like right now?
Ken and Angie, the adrenaline is high, and local UNC fans can't contain their excitement as the game against Kansas inches closer and closer. East Carolinians I spoke with today shared their thoughts on who will win tonight's game between UNC and Kansas. Jay Brewer, a Durham native and a cook at Sup Dogs, has been a lifelong UNC fan and says he's going to be glued to the TV screen tonight.
Luckily, I'm off so I can watch the game. So I'm gonna be excited, be yelling, but I don't know. Hopefully, I'm gonna have fun with it and we just come on top.
Now, Brewer says maybe tonight's win will kickstart a new legacy because if UNC wins, this will be Coach Hubert Davis's first national championship as head coach at North Carolina. Now, I'm live here at Sup Dogs tonight, where I'm pretty sure those local UNC fans will pile in to watch the game. And those fans tell me that despite whether or not UNC wins tonight's game, they say they'll always be a Tar Heels fan. Live in Greenville, Adriana Hargrove, 9 on your side.
Adriana, thank you. And check this out. If the Tar Heels get the win tonight, this is what the scene would look like in Chapel Hill Saturday night after UNC's win over Duke. Thousands of people packed Franklin Street to celebrate the big win. Several fans were injured while jumping over fires on Saturday, and officials are urging fans to not set fire in the street tonight. And as we take a live look in New Orleans, fans are starting to arrive at the Superdome for the game, and they're getting really excited, Ken.
You know, it's the third time in 6 years the Tar Heels have played in the national championship. And after that game Saturday night, Duke, Carolina in the tournament for the first time, how will the Tar Heels play tonight? That's a big question. Will there be a letdown?
I know.
Brian Bailey will have more with the Tar Heels coming up in sports. Win or lose, though, what a season for Hubert Davis in his first season as head coach.
Absolutely. That game was intense. It was back-to-back, so we'll see how it goes.
Other news in the East tonight, a Jacksonville man is behind bars this afternoon in connection to several armed robberies at hotels in the area. Detectives identified 47-year-old Leon Jones in 5 of the robberies. The string of robberies happened between October of last year and March. Jones now faces multiple charges, including 3 counts of armed robbery. He's currently being held in the Onslow County Jail under a $375,000 bond.
Now to an update on the suspicious death in Greenville last month. The body in that case is identified as 36-year-old William Rushing. Police responded to the 3900 block of West Vancroft Circle on March 24th and found the body of Rushing in a grassy area. His cause of death is still unknown. If you have any information about this case, you are urged to contact Greenville Police or Pitt County Crime Stoppers at the numbers on your screen.
Elsewhere across the East, the Onslow County Board of Commissioners held their monthly meeting today. On the agenda, 2 public hearings for rezoning requests, along with a request to overturn the previous decision to close some of the mobile convenience sites. In December, commissioners voted to close some of those sites due to a lack of revenue.
The Board of Commissioners responded to some citizen feedback about, in particular, the Richlands convenience site. And there was a lot of call from the community to please leave that open just one day a month. And so they made a decision today and the majority voted to leave the Richlands convenience site open one Saturday a month.
Commissioners also approved some grants today, including an emergency management grant application.
And Duke Energy is awarding $500,000 in grants through the Hometown Grant Revitalization Program. This is the second year Duke Energy is awarding small businesses. The program has given more than $1.5 million for recovery efforts. Jones County is using last year's awards to enhance small businesses' storefronts damaged by Hurricane Florence and to help businesses impacted by the pandemic. County officials say supporting small businesses is more important now than ever.
Small businesses in any county, but especially in Jones County, they're the backbone of the community.
This year's grant application is open now through May 31st. For more information on the grant application, you can go to our website at WNCT.com.
The North Carolina State Board of Education is meeting this week to discuss a draft proposal that could affect teacher salaries.
This proposal could change teachers' salaries based off their experience to merit-based pay or their student standardized testing scores. 9 on your side's Claire Curry spoke with teachers in ENC and their thoughts on the possible change.
Ken, Angie, Lauren Piner, a Pitt County teacher, tells me that although this new model could bring new people to the profession, it could drive veteran teachers away. Piner says she is not in favor of the new system because it would make the profession more competitive against one another. An Onslow County Title I reading specialist, Amy Perry, says that teaching students works best when administrators collaborate with one another. Piner adds that standardized testing only covers English, math, and biology. Administrators whose subjects don't get tested on are evaluated on subjective observations.
I'm just afraid that this change, is not necessarily what we want to be known as of the first in the nation for. I don't necessarily see it as cause for celebration. And I think we'll see a further, exodus of veteran teachers, more so than we're seeing now.
If the system changes, North Carolina would be the first state to move away from the experience-based pay scale. The State Board of Education Communications Director states that this proposal will likely change before it is finalized in the next coming weeks. In Jacksonville, Claire Curry, 9 on your side.
Claire, thank you. And as the State Board of Education hears this proposal later this week, supporters across the state say the chance for higher pay could draw more people to the profession and reward the most effective teachers. But some teachers, like Piner, worry it would be no longer reward veteran teachers and put too much focus on test scores.
This plan that's being drafted and out there seems like it would do more to get some of my colleagues to lose hope. And have fewer great teachers in the classroom.
We really need to find a way to make sure that we are focused on the performance of teachers and not just rewarding them for staying in the profession longer.
If the State Board of Education approves a plan sometime this year, the General Assembly would still have to sign off on this too.
Turning now to the latest in Ukraine as Russia continues to attack the already war-torn country. We do want to warn you, some of the video you're about to see is graphic. Dead bodies remain in the streets of a town outside Kyiv, some of their hands tied behind their backs. We're now seeing these images now that Russian troops have pulled out of the area. Russian officials accused Ukraine of staging scenes like this and say President Biden and Western leaders should examine their own conscience. Meanwhile, President Biden suggested Russian President Vladimir Putin should be tried as a war criminal.
This guy is brutal, and what's happening in Bucha is outrageous.
Humanitarian efforts also continue as faith leaders from Virginia are traveling to Poland to deliver supplies to refugees.
At the end of March, Congress failed to pass a bill that would continue covering the cost of COVID testing and vaccinations for uninsured patients.
Now, local healthcare providers must choose to either continue free care with money from their own pocket or just stop offering it altogether. On your side's Claire Mollet is here now. Claire, you spoke with health officials who say they will continue this coverage and just have to absorb the cost.
Yeah, that's right, Ken and Angie. And the NCDHHS says that people will be able to access free tests through testing sites sponsored by the Department of Health and Human Services. But the loss of funding means availability for these services could be severely affected. StarMed Healthcare is one provider who will continue COVID-19 care at no cost to the uninsured. Their chief medical officer says the bill has not passed because Democrats and Republicans can't agree on where the funding will come from. He says this is a huge concern because not all healthcare providers have the capability to absorb this cost.
And I expect a lot of places to stop treatments, especially. And that's going to be pretty bad because there is another wave coming in the next couple of weeks. It's going to hit us pretty hard.
The NCDHHS says they are concerned about losing this funding and will continue to advocate for its passing. Piramzadian adds he hopes Congress can come to an agreement quickly because it's unknown how long care providers will be able to absorb these costs. In studio, Claire Mollet, 9 on your side.
Up next, your Storm Team 9 forecast, where we are tracking the potential of some strong to severe thunderstorms. More details on weather alert days right after the break.